Alright, I'll hit you up later.
Alright, I accidentally pushed the link. Man, I wasn't even ready. Lord have mercy. Let me go. Let me. I'm up live. Peace. Alright, family, look, I accidentally pushed the link while I was on the goddamn phone. And we about to get this thing started. We about to get started here. Oh man, I wasn't even ready. I wasn't ready for the world, but I gotta get ready now. I was on the phone, getting some stuff together, and I pushed off the link and it went out. So we're gonna roll live. It's that Toast and Talk, Imani. We kicking it here, Gye-Nyame Journey. We want to make sure that we streaming on all cylinders. You know, I was having a conversation with Sister Navita, and hopefully y'all ain't catch all of that. You know, private talk. But anyway, damn, I wasn't even ready yet. Alright, cool. So we're going to make sure, once again, that we're streaming on all cylinders before we officially get started. We're going to go and get the transcript down so we can start, you know, I'm going to build off of it. Hey, y'all, hey, excuse me. Hey, Gina, y'all need to go somewhere with that. Alright, did you hear me?
Okay. Powered on.
Alright, so we up. Let's see what we up on. We doing our Toast and Talk. We Toast and Talking on this Imani day. I sent out the links. Plus, I wanted to kind of get through today because I want to try to at least catch the debate. If I can't be there live, catch it on the stream. Because, you know, I still got to take Cleve to get his hair cut and all this. So, my kids is fighting. It's real life here, Gye-Nyame Journey. All the time. Real life.
Told you. Recharge. Told you.
So, give me a second while we try to get everything lined. Get everything where it need to be. Alright, cool. We up on Facebook. So, I'm getting the stream set up. A lot of this stuff I can't do offline anyway. So some of y'all should be used to it. We're going to open up the lines after we do the toast. Cleve, you need to get ready because, girls, y'all need to go and take a bath or something. Y'all need to get ready too because we about to get up out of here. Because I got to take Cleve to the barbershop. You heard me, right, Sasha?
Yes.
Alright, get ready. So on these type of Kumbas and Imanis, it's kind of rough because it's just me.
We took a bath yesterday morning.
Yesterday morning, okay. So that means you're gonna take a bath now. So you might as well head upstairs. And I got to figure out what I'm gonna do with your hair because you're not going out like that again today. All right, so we streaming. All right, is it up on YouTube? Jenny, you need to start getting ready. You heard me, right?
Yeah, I'm going to.
Why don't you charge your board?
Because I don't know where the bag is.
Did you leave it in the car?
No.
Did you leave it in the car?
No.
Well, find the bag. All right, sorry, family. Real life here, Gye-Nyame Journey, all day, every day. I want to welcome you to the congregation of the mighty, the home of the stubborn minority, the place where your hustle build muscle. This is Gye-Nyame Journey Media. I'm your host, Brother Hatim, and of course, you know this is the Daily Toast, and of course, it's Imani's Toast and Talk. This is a Heart of a Simba production. Well, we strive to blow up your old paradigms. Let's kick it! your water. Come on, drink your water, but first, take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath. Drink, 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 drink. Or should we say, breathe, breathe, then drink. And now grab your glass for that water. Lift that pitcher of that water. Take that pitcher of that water. Simply pour some water. Oh, that was easy. Drink, 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 drink. Man, or should I say, lift, pour, then drink. Now, move your body and drink some water. Move your body, drink some water. Move your body, drink some water. Family, move your body. Drink, 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 drink. Or should I say, move, move, yeah, drink. Now, raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Raise your glass and toast your ancestors, fam. Just raise your glass, give it a scoop, drink, 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 drink. Till we say, lift, toast, then drink. Now take your breath and drink some water. Lift and pour yourself some water. Move your body, drink some water. Raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Breathe, lift, move, toast. Remember the 4 pillars to stay healthy. Breathe, drink, eat, move. Right. Take your breath. Lift and pour. Move your body out, out. Toast your ancestors, drink up. Drink your water. Hey, yep, Sister Navita, your period. That nasty ass water that with a fancy French name counts as well. So, family, I want to once again thank you for joining us. Like I said, we started a little bit too early. The health drink for the day is some coffee. I got some straight black coffee that I'm gonna be sipping on, and hopefully it does not break my glass like it did Brother Shaka's. But you know, like I said, we wanted to drink healthy, so I got me some black coffee. The Ambrosia's downstairs brewing. I might have to push back the expectation date because I gotta go to that shop to get the. I gotta try to see if I get some more corks. I'm running short on corks. And I don't like the perfect fit corks. So I'm going to go and see if we can find us some corks so that we could go on and continue doing what we're doing. So let's do this toast and we get to our toast and talk. Got a little some stuff I want to share. I'm going to talk to Brother Gye-Nyame about getting him a show as well. You know what I'm saying? So y'all could not only have, I'm going to bring the ruckus, the confusion, the arguing, have some fun, but also Brother Gye-Nyame could bring some of that logic and some of that patience and some of that wisdom. I reflect it sometime, but my Black Yoda got it down a little bit better than I do. So, like I said, you want to go out to the car and see if it's out in the car? Yeah. In my coat pocket, my keys are in my coat pocket. Did you sure you ain't put it in the trunk? Because you was asleep?
I took it out the trunk.
Okay, cool. So, you sure you ain't leaving it at the school? I'm going to the school. Real life here, Gye-Nyame Journey. Drink. Thank you. Shouts out to Miss Lisa Tannenbaum. Thank you for joining us. So now, I got a few things I want to talk about. Kind of make it quick. Go and try to get a haircut. Try to get over to this thing. Then also I got to be over at the school because there's a dance class over at the school today. And like I said, we'll be advertising that. I need to also mention that we will be bringing Brother Bonacci here, breaking down racism and the need for Afrocentric education. I'm going to read the title of his book. It's small. It's very small. I tried to do an ad on Facebook, but it got blocked. Deconstructing aspects of the social construction of race and racism in Western culture. How and why African Americans are educated into a state of dumbness by America's nigger factory. Highlighting the need for African-centered education by Brother Bonacci. It's Akinde Bonacci Montgomery. Now, we will be having, it's going to be it's all one thing. 3 different sessions. There's a study group on Nia Night, right? That will be February the 7th over at APTS from 6 to about 8. You know what I'm saying? The book study, of course, they're going to be looking at this book. They have started doing some study on the book. Did you look in the car?
No, because I remember I was walking with Mommy and I had it in my hand. I came in the house and laid it down somewhere.
Okay, cool. Find it and charge it up. Because if y'all go to the school with me, you got that whole building. You know what I'm saying? So, all right. Let me get back to it. So, February 7th, there will be the ASCAT study group, and they're going to be looking at the book. They have been looking at the book, and there's going to be some good discussion. You're going to be able to answer some questions. You're going to be able to join that conversation. Then on February the 8th, which is next Kuumba, we will be having the Meet the Author. And also, we will be having, let's say it like this. At 10 a.m., we're going to have a meet and greet. So come and meet the author, have a detailed conversation with him, ask him any questions that you have, because the brother is a studier of the Metuneta. He also is involved in education, and he's going to talk about the need for African-centered education for our children. Actually, why not all children? Why not? But especially our children. I can take my glasses off because I read the title. And then at 12 noon, we will be having a free catered lunch. And then from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m., we will have a workshop and lecture. Now, the Kuumba event, or February the 8th, is $10. Family, come out. There's limited seating. Because as far as I know, I got 2 events popping off at the same time. I haven't got anything from the other event as of yet. So I can't really talk about it at this point in time. But this one, there is limited seating. So family, we're going, like I said, Get there. Right? Talk to people. Get your tickets. Make sure that you're able to get your... Brother, how do I get my tickets? Get in touch with you. You can inbox me. Some of y'all got my number. Call Sister Navita. Put on the timeline. I'm interested in coming. You know what I'm saying? Somebody get back with you. Hit us up at on our Facebook page. You know what I'm saying? If you are connected with Tawi in any form or fashion, get in touch with somebody at Tawi. They will make sure that you're able to get the tickets. Now, $10 at the door, and then on February the 9th, the brother will be leading the Per Arm. And that will be over at APDS 1409 East Livingston Avenue. Right? And we're going to have a great weekend, man. I'm going to be busy. I'm going to be running. You know what I'm saying? So, those of you that like to hem up a brother and talk about some of the ideas you got, that might not be the best time. I'm not going to be very receptive at that time because I'm going to have to be doing 3, 4, 5 things at one time. So it's going to be busy, and we're going to do a lot of learning this weekend and hopefully be getting some information that we can apply. That's the key. Information to apply to what's going on. So Gina lost her charger for something that I've been waiting for her to get, and I'm excited for her to be able to enjoy it. But it's real life here, Gye-Nyame Journey. We always make it through. So now, on to the toast. It's time for us to toast, family. For those that are new here, what we do on a daily basis at Gye-Nyame Journey is that we rise, and even in the late afternoon like this, early afternoon, we get up and we toast our ancestors, right? Because we believe it's our responsibility to do this. We believe that our ancestors are active in our lives. So what we want to do is we want to send them energy so that they can continue sending us energy. They lived their lives in a way where they were able to make space for us. They lived their lives in a way where we have the space and time to do new things, right? So we want to salute those that came before us. This is part of our culture. This is part of who we are, right? And in doing that, we make ourselves better. We make ourselves better, right? So this is a daily ritual that we go through, and I'm honored for those travelers. I'm honored to be flanked by some of the travelers that pop in here in the morning, because family, some of us, some be getting up at like 4:30. You know what I'm saying? Brother Kwame is up and he does a little thing for himself, I think, and then he joins us, right? Because we started real early, but now we try to do it about 5:15, right? Usually between 5:15 and 6, depending on the time of year. I'm trying, but we do it every day, and we haven't missed a day in I think we're going on 4 years now. Haven't missed a day. Now, you can say a lot of things, you know what I'm saying? But one thing about Gye-Nyame, one thing about this family, one thing about this tribe is we strive on consistency, right? Like I said, because, the physical present is a beautiful thing. But thank goodness for this new tool that we have, where I could come live to you wherever you are. You could be walking down the street right now looking at me on your cell phone right now. So we are able to be in many places at one time. This is a beautiful experience, family, and this is my challenge to everyone. This is my challenge to everyone. My promise, in a sense. When you start participating with this, you will start seeing effects, or you should start seeing effects in your life. If you don't start seeing effects in your life, I'm telling you personally, you need to stop. I'm just saying, because I'm seeing the effects in my life, and I'm seeing the effects with people around me, right? But if you are doing the daily toast and you're getting up and you're toasting your ancestors with us, and you're not receiving any results, I'm gonna say stop, because my goal is to bring value. And if what I'm doing on a daily basis with this tribe, with this family, is not working for you, I'm not mad. I'm not disappointed. I'm just saying stop wasting your time, because you should be getting some results in your personal life from this, because every day we get up and we salute our ancestors. Every day. I don't believe in doing something that don't work. It's working for me. It has been working for me. A lot of doors have been opened, and I've been able to open the doors for other people. I have been blessed in a sense my whole life, even before I start doing this, in strange ways. Things will just pop off, and I'll be like, wow. I mean, I'll give you story after story after story, but I won't bore you with that. But the challenge is, if you gonna participate with this, please understand that you should be receiving. There should be energy flowing around you. You should see some type of change. If you don't, stop. Alright? So let's go and get this toast popping. Y'all ready? If you're ready, clap your hands. So, to get us started, is something else, is there any other announcements that I need to make? Guess not. So, alright, let me pause the transcription. First off, we raise our glass to the Creator by whatever name you choose to call that Creator. We call on that great power, that great force, that great energy, the first thing, the spark that caused all of this that we call the universe or the multiverse, or however you want to look at it. We raise our glass to that Creator and we say, Ashe. From there, family, we pull out our list of our illustrious ancestors. Let's see how far I can get on memory today. Alright, so let's see. Miles Brown, Ms. Ann, Robert the Tex, Anna Davis, Herman Brown, Senior, Rosalie, Tilly, Georgia, William Walter, Christopher, Fanny Gaston, Aunt Lena, Uncle Chris, I'm Fiend, Cleveland and Geneva Brown, Margaret Ellis, Wash Ellis, Cecil Ellis, Alvaro Brown, Jenny Gaines, Herman Brown II, Barbara Twiggs, Wash Ellis, Jr., Katie Ellis, Nikki Ellis, Jamon Jones, Jeremiah Tappan, John Fallar, Montague Pimenel, Normal X, Sapet Mott, Ron Malika Fakour, Dr. Marianne Williams, Kojo Kamal, Elder Millie Dixon, Tony Clark, Pastor Yusuf Weston, Elder Ajani, Elder Ron Coleman, Elder Robert Donaldson, Alfred Brofro Ector, Elder J. Got Elder J. Then we got Carlisle, Elder J. Oh God. Elder J. Edwards, Carlisle Harris, Grace Lundy, Inez Harris. Oh God. They ain't do as good as I did yesterday. We got hold on. Where's I at? Elder J. Edward. We got Elder Alfred Brofro Ector Jr., J. Edwards, Carlisle Harris, Grace Lundy, Inez Harris, William Bill Moss, Phyllis Rose, Sterling and Lucy Wright, Derek L. Pulliam, the Luxter brother, Miss Eda Brooks Crawley, Miss Marie Nelson, Mr. Frederick Crawley Sr., Miss Jerry Brunson, Mr. Alonzo Johnson, Miss Marie McDowell, Janice Foster, Charles Jordan, Carol Smith, Walter Smith, Richard Triggs, Francis Johnson, Mary Franklin. That's as far as I can go right now. That's Janice Foster, Charles Jordan, Carol Smith, Walter Smith, Richard Triggs, Francis Johnson, Mary Franklin, Jimmy Williams, Daniel Ford, George Gibson, Nana Loretta Clark, Inez McCrae, Fritz Clark, Frankie Justice, Katie Justice, Derek Renderman, Virginia Rogers, Reverend James Smith, Lois Henderson, Calvin Spratling, Mary Elizabeth Walker, Raymond Walker Sr., Sarah Jane Carter, Michael Ford Jr., Kellen D. Russell, Susie B. Smith, Teresa Clay, Melvin Dale Hodge Jr., Herman Copeland, Mildred Copeland, Jenny Clay, Bird, B.D. Sarah Well, Levita Farmer, Ago Sosu, Cheryl Harvey, Aunt Charmaine, Aunt Evelyn, Theodis Hasbury, Harvey Hasbury Sr., Leonard Dickinson, T.C. Islam, Terrell Dunbar, Will Thomas, Sarah Berry, Mark Walsh, Merrill B. Thorne, Pearl G. Thorne, Allen Johnson, Florence M. Carter, Joanne Thorne, Erica Tricia Lewis, Juanita Wright, Robert Wright, George Wright, Mary Eliza Frederick Davis, Mary Elizabeth Rogers, Mary Esther Keisha Reese, Linda Watson, Hammonds, Gerald Giles Watson, Sparrow, Slimmy, Selvin Lewis, Andrew Holmes, Pearl Moore, Percy Moore Jr., Major Owens, Booker T. Bowden, Charlie Hunt, Sammy Stover, Heather Pearson, Sturgeon Thornton, Richard Thornton, Lavinia Hall, Freeman Banks, May Moss, Sophia Peacock, Willie Thornton, Napoleon Kennedy, Mark Ramsey, Paul Ramsey, Matt Ramsey, David Ramsey, Charles E. Thornton, Frankie Quells, Urania Thornton, Bernice Quells, Ernestine Jackson, Frankie Johnson, Teresa Mormon, Leon Johnson, Charles Bell, Vivian Ramsey, S.E. Johnson, Delrita Johnson, Leon Johnson, James W. West Sr., James Parham, Dana Jones, Henry World, James Farmer, Mary Chavez, Leon Gress, Bester Johnson, Hadley Vester, Mary Moreland, Paul Moreland, Elder Caleb, Rosemary Martineer, Ed Amatet Wellman, Fred Douglas Triggs Sr., Thelma Triggs, Thomas and Lula Berry, Lacey Ellen Howe, Franklin Russell Davis, Fred Douglas Triggs II, Vina Triggs, Reverend Eddie Moore, Helen Fuller, Eugene Jackson Sr., Richard Ellis, Silas Alexander, Charles Maxwell, Percy M. Alexander, Arthur Reynolds, Stanley Lockhart, Ricky Lockhart, William Lockhart, Woodrow Lockhart, Brenda Porter, Deacon Hargrove, Carlos Sawyer, Andrew Parker, Doris Donald, Ellis Murphy, D'Amico Russell, Denny Mon Aries, Gina Ruth Jones, Jana Callahan, William Walter West, Nigel Perez, Elder Pasigi Filani, Jim Robinson, Gladys Johnson, Valerie Clark, John and Mary Sullivan, Dirk Johnson, Antonio Johnson, Denise Waters, DeFriedis Hines, Inez Bostic, Edna Bostic, Winifred Scanterbury, Wilson Headley, Emma Hines, Phyllis Lee, Eugene Spratling, Kevin Spratling, Charles Wooden, Penny Brown, Roy Lee, Print Up Jr., Miriam Johnson, Wilbur Longmire, Ed Catton, Janice Carter, Michael Carter, Leon Peanut Carter, Mark Carter, William Carter, Lisa Jordan, Charles Lee Mosley, Dorothy R. Blair, Ransom Evans Sr., Sam Evans Sr., Nalon Blair Sr., Edward Stevens, Sue Ann Stevens, Joe Davis, Timothy Butler, Gene Holmes, Dana Jones, Peter Charles, Christy Nichols, Cardinal Robinson, Rosemary Charles, Ada Pearl, Bob Ingalls, Jack Wallace, Warren M. Finch, Warren P. Finch, Tim Ingalls, Archie Finch, William Billingsley Jr., Jennifer Sensible, Hazel Gatson, Jerry Brantley, Brian Watson Jr., Kaniko Parsons, Jason Cathy, Bradford, Thomas Bradley, Thomas Bradley, also known as Uncle Buki, also known as Gypsy, Reverend Roosevelt Word the First, H. Strife, Frank Smith, Mother Bertha, Michael Leonard, David Brown, Ruth Carter, June Cox, Ruth Cox, Paula Cox, Ronald Urban, Judy Hubbard, Irene Johnson, Francis Booth Jefferson, Dan Wilkins Sr., Emma McClendon, Jerry Doyle, Mina Robinson. Hold on. Francis Booth Jefferson, Dan Wilkinson Sr., Emma McClendon, Jerry Doyle, Mina Robinson, Mary Nichols, Patricia Williams, Shabaka Teray, Greg G2 Gibson, Donna Hill, Richard Cleavis, Lee Irby, Tommy Irby, Roy Irby, Jim Gaucher, George and Hallie Johnson, Archie Margaret Armstead, Diane Scott, Erica Armstrong, Claire Fox, Gene Evans, Archie Beck, Anna McGill, Charles McDaniel, Christine Cottrell, Aunt Becca, Alice Arnold, Arthur Arnold, Hattie Reed, Charles Reed, Eula and Andrew Baker, Patricia and Edwin Brooks, Gwendolyn and Bob Hatch, Kimball Vernon, Bradley Kim, Janie, Harriet Tubman Kate, Spencer Sturgis, Sally Mae Baker, Ethel Baker, Creola Baker, Geneva Baker, Aaron Nino, Baby Hatchet Sr., Mally Miller, Halsey Hashtag, Cleveland Mother Gibson, Axe Nixon, John Bowie, Lester and Rachel Saunders, Doretha Ross, Riola Ross, Robert Nelson, Francis Stevenson, Leroy Stokes, Lily Johnson, Fletcher Swan, Maddie and Charlie Scott, Ronnie Casey, Thomas Cover, Vivian Stevenson, Mona Ann Lewis, Cornetta Lyman Lewis, John Jackson, William Dallas Lewis, Mary Frances, Chappelle Jackson, Michael Slade, Joanne Perkins, Richard Jackson, Martha Ford Dawson, Big Mama, Nanny Harris, Eva Ford, James Harrison, Margaret Towns, Mary Williams, Leroy Q. Heap Sr., Albert Moore, Miss Vanilla, Albert Motley, Geraldine Elizabeth, Douglas Thompson, Earleton Houston, Lud Alls, Elijah Alls, Jerome Alls, Henry West Staten, Joe Jamel Alls, Ann Pierce, Donald Carter, Lily Green, Nathan Green, Beth Bond, John Dewey, Ruth Beard, Tim Butler, Randy Laura Newton, J.B. Foggy, Thomas Newton Sr., Barbara Naeem, Jeanette Sanders, Jerry C. Sanders, Roy Pruitt, A.J. Brantley Sr., Henry Wilson, Rufus Jenkins, Minnie Wilson, Catherine Sanders, Muriel Ellis, Elizabeth Sanders, Henrietta Irby, Mildred Armstead, Margaret Armstead, Captain Anthony, Ruth Brown, Charles Walker Sr., Charlie Walker, Cecil Russell, Don Urban, Hiram Phillips, William Ford, Margaret Logan, Phyllis Barnett, Lee Urban Sr., Michael Urban, Ozella Watson, Hugo Watson, John Caldwell Sr., Robbie Lee Caldwell, Neville Mitchell, Ron McCormick Sr., Sabrina Easley, Rashawn Easley, Jabez McCormick, Barbara Ann Reed, Dorothy Ann Reed, John Reed, Shekamaha Reed Jr., John Reed Jr., Patricia Reed, Edward R. Benson Sr., Ethel H. McNair, Lois Fernandez, Jacqueline Broadus, Reginald Oliver, Mazarine Coper, George Swan, Imani Grayson, Charles Scott, Charles H. Scott, Michael Morgan, Charlene Morgan, Sybil Edwards McNabb, Annie Ferguson, William Ferguson, Shelby McClendon. We got Joella Jow, James Carwell, Roberta Adams, also known as Aunt Sis. We got Elder Shaka McNair. We got Anthony Brown. We got Lottie Gaucher, but is a name before Lottie Gaucher. Jonathan Ford, Lottie Gaucher, cousin Tony, Michael Johnson, James Jimmy Johnson, Barbara Shane Lewis, Ronald Shelton Jr., Damian Top, Westina Banks, Joseph Bingham Quincy, Mama Aunt Lady, Abraham Isaac Cundiff, Aunt Barbara Lewis, Renee Johnson, Joey, Ryan Ross Riggins, Jermonte, Marcus Price, Ness Words, Marshawn McHale, Demetrius Beard, Herb Jefferson, Ralph Mickens, Eric Walker, Quasi Sample, Candace Simmons, Summer Clayton, Leonard Jones, Sadie Garner, Melvin Scott Sr., Elder Clarence Lumpkin, Elizabeth Johnson, Frank Smith, Stacey Trice, Denise Goray, Nathaniel Hassan Turner, Khalid is in transition, Nigel Turner, Demetrius Lewis Flynn, Alberta Woods, Geneva Simmons, Daniel Tilley, Angeline Gant, Sharifa Oscar Kane, Audrey Griffith, Dominique Nichols, Ruthie Lane Johnson, Teresa Sambu, Aunt Maxine, Uncle James, Henry Munger III, Tamara Dowdy, Nicole Harris, Julia Taylor, Richard Bozeman II, Ruth Carter, John Carter, Mr. Thornton Johanna, Deshandra Lynette Lewis, Henderson Mosley, Charles Jordan, Henry Essex II, Fannie L. Webb, Dan Walton, Alauti Sue Walton, Emma Walton, James Randolph Giles, Sonny, Pete Walton, William Walton, Fred Powers, Elijah Juan Hakeem and Como, Alberta T. Davis, Charles Davis, Willie R. Mackey, also known as Dr. Creamy Mackey, Victor Bowden, Drusilla Kitty Berger, Lucy White, Robert Lee White, Emma Jean White, Talton, Roger White, R.L. White, Jesse White, Ruby Jewel White, John Carl White, Desi Woods, T-Lar Woods, Lennox, Jim Woods, Lizzie Woods, Juanita Alexander Brown, Cynthia Ann Wright, Richard Dorsey, Andy Simpson, Jamira Simpson, Regina Hopkins, Joseph Simpson, Nettie Dorsey, Eleanor Hopkins, Edward Webster, Alice Webster, Ivy Webster, Arnella Willis, Ethel Lane, Samantha DeMond, Ethel Marshall. Can you help her find her bag, please?
What bag?
She can't find her bag with her charger. I don't know if it's in the car. Did you take a shower or something?
No, I just told her to give me a
Oh, go take a bath, please. Do something with your hair. And if you could, help me out with your sister's hair. Steve Dougie Shelton, William Bill Walker's Real Life Hair Gye-Nyame Journey. William Bill Walker, Carl Rico Johnson, Kim Gray, Stuart A. Johnson, Edward Young III, Isaac Jackson Sr., Drusilla Murrow, Wayne Young, Christina Young, Thomas Young, Frank Murrow, Sylvester Foster, James and Lizzie Winston, Abe and Julia Lawrence, Ozell Leathers Sr., Gladys Coffer, Ozell Leathers Jr., Geneva Jackson, R.J. Lacey, also known as Toot the Don, Xavier Winston, and Chris Kinney. Raising our glass to all of our ancestors and all those that we celebrate in this moment. We celebrate them for what they have done, the path that they have laid, the space and time that they have provided us with right now, and in some cases, some of the resources, some of the mental resources that some of us had. We raise our glass and we salute because we remember where we come from so that we can move forward in power. We toast our ancestors and we say, Ashe. I see Miss Angela Mateen. She said, long time, brother, but been in spirit with you each day. You're doing great. Remembering, all you do is so appreciated and felt so deeply by me. You're precious. Thank you. Thank you. Same to you, sis. We raise our glass to those ancestors. And now, family, we come to the present moment. So right now, I want to give all of those Imani babies a round of applause. Each day is special. Today, this moment that we are in is called Imani. Imani, right? So family, I want you to activate those reticular formations. I want you to take the time today to seek out the principle of Imani. And it's more than just in church. We got Imani pop. We got all of our principles popping around us all the time. But because of all of the programming and all of the madness that have been put on us, we can't recognize it. So family, I am challenging you to step outside of your box. Step outside of all of your training. And I want you to start looking for our principles because they still there. We just can't see them. We have been trained not to see them. And I'm challenging you to open up your mind and start looking for our principles. When you find them, feel free to post them up on Gye-Nyame Journey, on the Gye-Nyame Journey page, or in the group. I prefer the page though, but post them up so that people know them. And you can put like hashtag Imani, hashtag Imani found, hashtag Imani day, or you can put a picture of yourself if you are an Imani baby. I am an Imani baby, hashtag Imani baby, right? You know what I'm saying? We got to get this, we got to get it flowing. This is a movement, and a movement, it by definition is in motion, right? It's not sitting still. You know what I'm saying? So every day, one of us should be able to find the principle of the day and post it up in some form of fashion. And that's the challenge for us. So now, here we go. Here we go. For those that don't speak the language, Imani means faith. Also on this day, we celebrate the principle of harmony from the Demotic principle of harmony. We also celebrate the concept of trust, which is one of the principles in the M7 that we try to teach the young people at the school. The color for the day is red, and you can see the beautiful Gye-Nyame Journey hoodie right here. For those that are interested, check us out at gnjmedia.live. Go to the merch store. We got the hoodies and all that stuff so that you go and support what we do. Also, the Hermetic principle of the day is gender. The male name for the day is Kwesi. Shouts out to all the Kwesis. And the female name is Akasua. So we raise our glass up, family, and we salute. We salute. We salute this mighty moment of Imani. We salute this moment because we understand that this moment was gifted to us by our ancestors, by them doing what they were able to, what they were supposed to do, and doing what they could do. When they was able to do it, they made sure that we will be able to sit here right now and toast together and remember them. And in the same way that our ancestors did what they were supposed to do, now we got to take it up a notch. We got to do what we were supposed to do and a little bit more so that we can leave the future generations from this moment that we are in right now. Leave our future generations their moment, their space, and their resources. You understand? So we have to do what we have. We have to be about our business, or as you would say, as my grandfather and my grandmother would say, me, my people. We got to be about the Father's business. We got to be about the tribe's business. We got to get out here and we got to make things happen so that our children will have the resources, the space and time to build their monuments to greatness. So we raise our glass to this moment and we say, I say. From there, family, move to our children, our children's children, on to infinity, family. We are responsible for all the future generations, which I just described in a moment. But right now, we're toasting our future generations, and we raise our glass up to them. Even though sometimes they could be hard-headed. Even so, sometimes they could be crying and have bad attitudes and stuff like that. We still salute them, because you know why? You know why? Because we know right at the core of them is greatness, and it's just waiting to be activated. And if we use our moment right, we will shine that light that will hit that eye and turn on that greatness within them. So we salute our future generations and we say, Ashe. From their family, we move to all of our relations. All of our relations. We want to toast. We are related to everything. We want to salute them and we say, Ashe. From their family, I want to toast. This is for you right here. That personal, that private. Think about this. That selfish toast. This for you. Because some of y'all out there working. I know it. So every now and then, you got to take a moment for yourself. What do you need in this moment to move towards your greatness? Raise our glass, and we say, Ashe. Last but not least, family, once again, I want to toast you. I want to raise my glass to the most beautiful, the most uplifting, the most outstanding, the wisest, and the strongest, and the bravest individual in the room. I lift my glass up to you, and we say, Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. All right, family, this morning, the health drink for me today is some coffee. Once again, I will explain. My mom bought me a coffee machine that grinds the coffee, and then, so I got fresh ground coffee, and I got me some nice, dark coffee, and there's no sugar. I like my coffee black. I like my coffee like I like my women, black and bold, and in some cases old. You know what I'm saying? So, Lord have mercy. Can't wait to get that ambrosia though. So Sister Angela put up faith to step out, and she also put harmony with the universe, harmony with our ancestors. Nia equals my purpose. All right, so family, now we're about to have this discussion. Lines are open. Call-in line is at 614-556-4535. So we got a few things that'll be coming out because Sister Navita is trying to streamline the show, so she wants to be able to throw out topics, and I celebrate her for that because my mind moves like. So I started by just sitting down and doing shows because one of the issues with me, I have found that if I sit around and I plan and I never get it done. So I have to jump up and I have to get it. But if I got people around me to be like, look, brother, I tell you we need to talk about this today, blah, blah, blah. I have no problems with following the lead. So we got some articles that we could continue discussing from yesterday, but there's one in particular that I want to throw out. Well, first, if you go to the Gye-Nyame Journey timeline on Facebook, we got Brother Kwame with a beautiful smile sitting up there posing with the Daily Toaster hat. He got that Daily Toaster gear. He won that the other day. Sister Cynthia also showed up and got her prize. So we had the warrior training yesterday, right? Didn't turn out all that well. I'm not gonna digress. But man, oh man, the article that I pulled up is not here. And but they have something on here that's pretty good. I'm going to come back and check it out. But I had typed in the question, and I know how to get it back. I thought I shared it. I shared it on Gye-Nyame Journey. Let me find. So I typed in a question yesterday because one of the major pieces that's been popping up for us. One of the major pieces that's been popping up for it is this culture. Culture. I typed in this question yesterday. Is culture the same as a meme? And they took me to, there we go. This is from an article called philosophytalk.org. And it kind of caught me, so I said, let's go. I'm going to just share it with the people. On there, there's a transcript. It's pretty short. But also there's a 59-second. Memes and the evolution of culture. I bet that when most people, this is not the one I had yesterday, but I have to go on back and check it out. I bet that when most people hear the word meme, they think of the internet and the viral spread of things like planking, or maybe new expressions like LOL or Gangnam Style or the Harlem Shake. This week's program may touch on that stuff, but that's mostly not what we want to discuss. We want to discuss a serious scientific hypothesis about the evolution of human culture. The idea that memes are to cultural evolution as genes are to biological evolution. Now, for those that want to look up the term meme, is M-E-M-E. And it's associated with viral things that pop off online. But it's a deeper meaning. Now, and what they're saying in this article is we want to discuss a serious scientific hypothesis about the evolution of human culture. The idea that memes are to the cultural evolution as genes are to biological evolution. Now, genes, I get. They're self-replicating packets of biological information. All genes want, figuratively speaking, is to replicate themselves. The competitive process of natural selection determines which one will. The winners, the more fit ones, proliferate. The losers die off. Listening, brother, in a Southern Baptist church with my moms. Are you for real? I hope you ain't got the headphones, Junior, in church while the man is talking, man. But anyway, the same with the idea of memes. Memes are self-replicating too. Memes are self-replicating too. But what they encode is not instruction for building proteins in our bodies, but instructing for building behaviors, beliefs, and emotions into our brains. Like genes, they compete with each other. The memes that win survive. The meme that loses die off. But there's a huge difference between the way genes spread and the way ideas spread. Genes make actual physical copies of themselves. Ideas don't. We pass actual physical copies of our genes onto our offspring. We don't do that with ideas. My ideas are just my ideas. They're forever confined to my head. Or maybe we're being too literal. Think about how culture is passed on to the next generation. It's no accident that most people grow up, at least initially, believing the religion and speaking the language of their parents. That's a form of non-genetic inheritance. That's the kind of thing that memes can help explain. Now, we couldn't deny that people get ideas and beliefs from other people. Most of what we know, we learn from other people. But does that mean that ideas literally replicate themselves in our heads? Suppose you have an idea for how to do something. Maybe maybe I like your idea. Maybe I even decide to adopt it or try to improve upon it somehow. None of that is the idea's doing. It's my doing. It's not that ideas actually replicate themselves. I actively adopt some ideas and not others. On this view, it's the person or the mind or the self that's in the driver's seat. You might call this view outmoded. The picture of a person kind of rationally weighing the pros and cons of various ideas and then autonomously deciding which ideas to adopt and which ideas to discard. But isn't that what we do in philosophy all the time? Don't we do it in science too? We consciously put our ideas under scrutiny. We keep the ones that survive the scrutiny and reject the ones that don't. But most of the time, our ideas aren't the products of rigorous scientific experimentation or philosophical thinking. If they were, our heads wouldn't be filled with so many awful, even pernicious ideas, and philosophies and sciences can act as antidotes to bad thinking. But for most of us, most of the time, acquiring an idea from another person is more like catching a cold. In other words, ideas are like viruses of the mind that spread through a contagion-like process, which would make our brains virally infected hosts, which self-replicating ideas use to get more of their kind into existence. Of course, viruses can be quite detrimental to their hosts, and so can memes. Memes don't replicate for our benefit. They replicate for their own benefit. Just as Richard Dawkins first spoke of the selfish gene. Now we have the selfish meme. Our guest, Susan Blackmore, goes far. So basically, memes are little packets of information, right, that are passed. And it helps, and they are important building blocks for culture, right? This is why I keep on saying culture is a living thing. Right? And if the culture, which is a group of ideas, no longer serve the people or no longer serve a group, it dies. Right? So we have to be very clear that when Brother Artem is talking about culture, I'm not just talking about no goddamn clothes, even though clothes are part of it. I'm not just talking about the language, even though language is part of it. Right? I'm talking about the living thing. You know what I'm saying? And that replicates. And we need to have individuals focused on creating the ideas to help build and strengthen the culture. So any thoughts on that? Any thoughts? Ideas are varied expressions of archetypes, right? Which basically, an archetype is basically, I would consider, maybe I could be wrong, is a meme. You know, memes are the modern word that they're using now. The universities and colleges are the best culture mediums by which to infect the many hosts who will in turn carry and spread ideas. And that's what universities are for. They bring the young minds together in a place where they can be infected by the ideas of the older minds that are there. You know what I'm saying? So, and also, universities and colleges are in a sense important to culture because what they do is they give, in a sense, an isolated, safe space where individuals can interact with these ideas and possibly even take the ideas farther. You understand? Research, expanding upon an idea, finding ideas that work and discarding or having a place where you can actually discard ideas that don't work, or at least send people out with the means to discard or get rid of those old memes. We got to understand, family, we are being affected by memes from other people's cultures all the time. They're sending them out. They send them out about us. They send them out about their superiority and how we, you know what I'm saying? We are operating on ideas that have been implanted in us. And many of us have to start the surgery of going into our mind, or at least some of us that are thinking got to come up with the antiviral or the anti-meme killing ideas. And that takes research. That takes time. That takes, that takes time and space. You know what I'm saying? Universities are controlled time and space where they have the resources to go and expand on their own memes and even bring some of them into reality. Sister Angela Mateen says, there's nothing new in the universe. We use our talents to improve upon what is already here in a dynamic way. Our ideas are what they are, ideas. We crystallize them and it's something missing. And we crystallize them and maybe she's still typing. So, you know what I'm saying? So family, we have to, like I said, part of one of the pieces I keep on saying about the culture is that we have to develop those institutions that are able, in a sense, to provide for members within the culture to actually increase the research on the history, on our history, on different fields that we could go and conquer, so that we could develop the resources, because ideas are the new currency. Ideas are a form of currency. Ideas are a form of power. That takes warrior training. It takes people coming to warrior training. But I don't give up. I digress. But so we have to be able to get these ideas out. We have to be able to have intelligent conversation, even in some cases unintelligent conversation, so that we can start seeing the memes that are affecting many of our people. University only bring out what is already inside of us, which is no doubt. But one of the pieces that I'm focusing on now is because we're going from the idea that an individual is born with everything that they already need. And those ideas are being brought out. But even some of these wrong ideas are already in them then. So that means we have to perfect the system that is able to bring out the best ideas, the healthiest ideas for us, the ideas to protect us. You know what I'm saying? Ideas, we crystallize ideas and make them applicable in this world, but we're not doing that. Many of us, we're not doing that. You know what I'm saying? We're using other people's ideas right now. Especially ideas about ourselves. I would dare say, and I'm just like, yo, family, hey, we need to up our game. You know what I'm saying? We got to get individuals that's actually studying us. Right? That's actually studying us. And I know a lot of people, it's like boom. And I'm not just talking about black studies in colleges. I'm not just saying getting our kids and sending them off. What I'm saying is we need to go on, because many of us have the skills. We need to start developing the curriculums to start challenging our children to look into us, look into our history, look into our tribe. You know what I'm saying? Check out because we're going to have individuals that's going to be interested in the proverbs, that's going to be interested in the folk tales. How can we take that information and make it applicable to life? How can we manifest some of those ideas? How can we use some of those ideas to move us as a group forward? Right? Now, if other people benefit from it, I have no problem for that. But what I'm tired of seeing is us coming up with grandiose ideas that benefit everybody and us. We need shit that's direct for us, and if other people could benefit off of it, that's beautiful, right? But Brother Kwame say, consider the steps of rites of passage. Is not that our form of university? Call, separate, train, reintroduce, and work. That is. But once again, we have to go and expand on that. We have to get that working from city. Now, I can't even say city to city. Let's say we got to get that working right here in Columbus, in a way where when our young people come through, right, not only Are we introducing them to the information? We're giving them space and time and some resources to develop that. Like, for example, we got a special relationship with the sun. We got individuals out here doing research on solar energy in their garages. Why don't we have a few garages with some of our young people working in? I mean, I know one of the reasons is resources, right? You know, because y'all always said, brother, I tell we ain't got, but like Sister Navita brought up, and I do agree, there are different ways that we can take some of the little resources that we are able to raise and get very creative and putting some tools in some of our young people's hands so that they could go on and do some creative, innovative things. You know what I'm saying? Angela Mateen, born with greatness, and our job is to bring out the kingdom of God inside of ourselves. Church folk know that scripture, but they are not taught how to do that. Bring it out through meditation and recreate your subconscious mind. You know what I'm saying? Now, how? You know what I'm saying? How? You know what I'm saying? Because because like we know the idea of what we want to do. Now let's get into the dissecting. How would you do that? How do you do that how can we put together a video that when somebody see it, what you're talking about will crack open? So an idea will crack open. How can we create a meme that is so effective that guides people directly to our culture and supporting our culture and motivates them to change their lives? How do you create that? Because, and as crazy as that sounds, please understand what I am describing to you is what advertisers do. How do you take an idea that's effective, that will get everybody to change a certain behavior? How do you spread? How do you create the idea? How do you spread it? You know what I'm saying? How do we do that? Because that's that. These are we need to go in a sense deeper and not just have the conversations, but start actually putting some of the stuff into motion. Because like I said, one of the things our ancestors, they left us space and time, but they didn't leave us a lot of resources, right? So we got to be very creative in some of the stuff that we create, because once again, information is the new money. Information is currency. How do you make the information that you have, right, viral? How do you make the meme that you have viral? Because I got brilliant people around me, but how do we get people wanting what value you could bring to the world, to develop the resources so that we can start really deeply getting into researching ourselves, researching the world and our connection to the world, and start pulling out the resources that not only will change our lives, but definitely will change the destiny of our children. For number lovers, I will hook them by asking the question, how do natural numbers come out of zero? Damn. There go that Yoda. God damn. See, but that's one of those questions for people that's interested in the numbers. How do you do that? You know what I'm saying? That's that Black Yoda, right? You know, like shit, forming the Jedi Temple, shit. Glass and cooled off my thing. But hey, family, listen. So, all right, let's look at some more news. So that was called Philosophy Talk. Tonight at 6 p.m., one of the things that I am doing, I'm premiering a video. Some of y'all might have heard it already. It's not even a video. It's more of, it got images, but I'm speaking. And I'm reading from one of my books. Because I often do folk tales for grown folks. And one of my books, let me see if I got it in here. When I be wanting my books ready, I don't have them around. But one of my books is called, but this is the book that I need right here. All right. See, once I pull this out, this whole thing over here is going to be messed up. And I'm going to have an argument at home. So if I pull it out, somebody got to open up your couch so I can come over there and sleep, because my wife is going to bug out. Because she like, oh, you be pulling out this shit. Brother High Tim, hold on. Needed some leverage. Alright. Somebody else wrote something. This question ties in directly to what the sister was referring to in bringing out that which is inside of us. Very true. I mean, because like numbers represent, you know, we reduce the idea of numbers to just counting. You know what I'm saying? When in some cases numbers are symbols that are bigger than just counting money and paces and shit. They are symbols that can be used to help individuals dig deeper. Well, I don't have my book. And I don't have my own damn book. I think I gave it to somebody. Okay. I gifted the book. But the book is called 7 Sticks. So, like I said, I often read Aesop fables. So, I created a group of fables, folk tales, or even on some levels, a myth for Gye-Nyame. All right. I created a myth for Gye-Nyame. Now, the very first myth that I created was the Trials of G. Why did you create a myth, Brother Hatim? Because I looked at other cultures and I saw that the driving force, at least from my perspective, the driving force for many cultures were their myths. Right? So I'm like, boom, we need to do this nation builder thing. Where's the nation builder myths? You know what I'm saying? All the stories is old and all them stories take place somewhere else. And I said, we need to update some of this information. So I created a story called The Trials of G. And out of G, I got a whole bunch of other stories. So I put together a book initially for the school to teach about what we call the M7, which are 7 principles. So I wanted a story format because we learn, I believe, once again, my personal belief, no scientific proof, none of that. Let me put it this way. I retain information better when I put it in a story format. So I want to teach the young people about our principles. So I put it in a story format. So I created each principle with a story. You know, I turned the principle into a person, and each principle has a story. So I am premiering, well, it's not a premiere for those that's been around, but I took one of the stories and I read I took the book called 7 Sticks. I read it out, and I'm premiering the first part tonight at 6 p.m. So, you know, like and share. You can listen to it with your kids. It's going to have a lot. It's no cussing in the book. It's designed for young people, but also it's designed for the community, right? To listen to and to have discussion. But I see we got a lot of people. Y'all scared to call in, though. I see you talking, you know, but y'all scared to call in. But hold on, I'm just joking. This question, Miss Angela says, you taught me meditation a long time ago, Hatim, and now my absent time from here have been my teaching in spirit up to date on how to immediately bring manifestation. Effective meditation works immediately when you know what to envision. Brother Kwame say, how did you ever get into haiku? What drove you there and what did you get out of it? Now for me, out of the haiku, the reason I got into the haiku, because people was like, you know, because we're talking about culture, we're talking, what does all this have to do with culture? The building blocks of culture, because a lot of people don't understand that the stories are an important part of culture. The way you write, the poetry, the way you even do the poetry is part of the culture, because how can I put it? It helps move the ideas of the culture. It brings the ideas of the culture to life. It makes them more infectious. The story and the poetic mode makes the ideas more effective. So I got a challenge from a sister Tiffany. She's real popular on Facebook right now because she does a lot of leather work and ceramic work, do some powerful stuff. They was doing a challenge, and she, in a sense, challenged me to do a haiku a day for 30 days. And for me, it turned into like a half a year and shit. You know what I'm saying? Every day I was doing a haiku. And what I found with haikus is I had a limited amount of space to express an idea, right? So in writing a haiku, I had to figure out how to write the haiku, how to express my idea in 3 lines with very restrictive rules. And within that very restricted rules, I learned about freedom. You understand what I'm saying? It's like which sparked a book that I wrote called Freedom Within Limits. You understand? Because around all freedom, there are borders. Once again, I'm getting back to this whole border concept. Because around all freedom, there's borders. Right? Because the freedom has to be protected. The freedom is within a certain space, and around that space is a border from which you do not allow those that will violate that freedom into that space. Cultural framework, right? So with haikus, I learned about being free within a limited amount of space, which in a sense flipped my whole world upside down, because I'm like, damn, I thought I had to write a long poem, but shit, no, I could express within 3 lines. And if I can remember, is it 696? I can't remember the expression right now because my mind is jumping around. But it was a certain amount of vowels that it was a certain amount of, somebody out there that know about haiku. Junior, go on, help me out, because I'm slipping on here. Even you, Kwame, somebody put it up here. But I had a limit on how long the lines could be and what rules they could follow in. And within those rules, within those very limiting rules, I found a certain amount of freedom that allowed me to consistently write haiku for over a year. If not, it either was a year and a half to a year. I was able to write a haiku a day. And then behind that haiku, be able to come up and do a blog post about the idea that was within a haiku. So hold on, we got a lot of people posting up. Numbers are entities with power, with wisdom, and with understanding. They give us the direction, a roadmap to follow the greatness inside of us. Brother Kwame, there is plenty of evidence to back up your hypothesis regarding the best way to learn through story, song, dance, or rhythm. But if I ain't got it to present, I can't. Syllables, that's it. Thank you. I think it's 696. No, 575. Thank you, Kwame. 575. I don't know how I forgot that. I can write a haiku right now. But I had to, I would have to have 5 syllables in the first line, 7 syllables in the second line, 5 syllables in the third line. And I would have to keep everything and my whole idea spaced in that. And it taught me how to create within small spaces. It taught me how to be free within all of that just by doing it. So just writing it was a form of meditation. How can I put this big idea in this small space? Oh shit. And that changed. You know what I'm saying? Just going through that process changed me. Just like with looking at the ideas of our ancestors in the proverb book, and not just reading the proverbs, but sitting down and rewriting what the ancestors wrote, and then writing my opinions about what the ancestors said about the proverbs. That's why I came up with the show, tribal quotes for the proverbs and folktale for grown folks. Going through and breaking it down and looking deep and see what lessons are in there that I can pull out right now for my life, right? Which expanded into other things. which expanded in how I organize, which expanded in how I meet with the people that I meet with. Like a lot of times, I prefer meeting like this, right? Because some people are like, oh, people like to be closer in person. I understand that, but a lot of times because of how infected we are with others' ideas, oftentimes this space between us and me doing the show like this, rather than always trying to meet with people, right? This cuts down on fuckery. Yeah, we argue some time on here, but it cuts down on fuckery. It cuts down on a lot of stuff by us being able to communicate through the internet. Now, yes, there are times when we need to come together, like with the warrior trainings and other things. But if people are following along, then they understand what I'm doing. They understand the language. They understand what I'm saying, right? And the whole piece is boom. So we got a whole tribal piece going on. We got a whole series of ideas that are flowing out here, right? So when Kwame come and throw his stuff, people that's been on the timeline won't be unfamiliar with the fact that Brother Kwame loved numbers, because we have interacted in a certain way, and he's going to throw it out to the children and the adults, and they're going to have to respond to it because they learn how to do it through through the interaction. We make it part of everything that we're doing. I'm sorry, somebody said, but any other questions, any other comments? Because it don't look like I'm gonna make this debate. We got a debate going on. Morgan Harper, George Beatty to debate in the first Ohio candidate forum today at 1:30. I have an address. Hold on, let me find the address for those that are interested in going out. Damn. I love y'all. I'm just saying. Consider black people across the world all use storytelling to commit history ideas of more than memory. That's right. Damn, it's not in here. Let me go. Hold on. Let me check my checking balance since I'm on here. Thank God. Okay. All right. Not in the zero. Still living the ADOS life. Hold on.
Daddy?
Yes.
My hoverboard is water resistant and flame resistant.
Oh, well, I hope you ain't gonna ride your hoverboard through no flame. You need to find the charger, baby. It's downtown. Let me see. Hold on. Let me look at this article real quick, and I can let those of you that's interested. Family, we have to start getting involved politically. We have to start getting involved. It's at 59 East Mound Street today at 1:30. Let me see, is there anything else? Anybody post anything on the timeline new? So anyway, I was telling you about the 7 Sticks. Anyway, that will be premiering today at 6 p.m. Be looking for it to pop up on the Gye-Nyame Journey timeline. And like I said, once again, I'm trying to use the stories to promote the ideas, but also seeing if trying to experiment with different ways to kind of make the meme viral. Alright. But somebody put something on here. Bring out in folktales what is needed. What I need. This is so powerful and so I need it by the people to transform. Somebody else must be listening because I don't see that. Okay, that's Miss Lisa Tannenbaugh. Yes. Looking to bring out in folktales what is needed. What I need. This is so powerful and so needed by our people to transform their lives and set up for our children. See, because the folktales, what the system wants you to do is to look at the folktales as primitive and as just for children. When the folktales were for millennia, the way in which we pass information from generation to generation. At a child level, you understood the folktale at a child level. At a teenage, you understood it from a teenage level. As an initiated adult, you understand it totally different.
Is it okay if I make eggs?
Yes, baby. Go ahead and make you some eggs. Real life here at Gye-Nyame Journey. You understand what I'm saying? It's totally different. It's ancestors' wisdom, the way we did it, it was layered. So if you were not ready for it, you would not get it. You would be able to enjoy the wisdom, but you would not be able to get it. Because you could be telling a folk tale that kids would be laughing at, the adults might be looking at it like, damn, this is the end of the world. Because they understand the language. They understand the idea that's behind it. They have done research. They have had in-depth conversations, and these ideas have worked. And you know that they worked because our ancestors were able to maintain themselves without outside influence for thousands of years. See, because this is the one thing that people don't understand. When I talk about culture, I'm talking about something that works, right? Culture cures, as my older brother Albino Garcia taught me. Culture cures and culture protects. Because if culture does not work, it is discarded. Our ancestors have held on to pieces of our culture and have been added, but we have it in a sense. We have it. I think it's our generation's opportunity to pump life, to bring all the pieces back together and pump life back into it, right? Because we have a unique culture. And this is what a lot of people don't want to hear black folks in America talk. We have a unique culture. Yes, we have African roots, without a shadow of a doubt. And we have connections to other African people around the world. But in America, we have a distinctive culture that we have to be willing to investigate, look into, and understand, because through the hardest times of any people in this world, we have been able not only to survive, but in many cases prosper and create something out of, like Kwame's question, how do natural numbers come out of zero? How do natural people come out of zero? Come out of absolutely nothing. How do you how does the dead resurrect themselves? This is the lessons that's lying in our history here. Yeah, we could go on and tie it up with the information that we get from overseas, but we have to embrace the lessons and the power of the culture here. Family, in almost every city where black people are, there was a how can I put it? There was a thriving part of it that was us. That was purposely either destroyed by direct violence or destroyed in a slow political process. You have to understand that. If you stop gene or mean from passing that critical information for reproduction, it dies. Or the culture dies. Or the ideas die. But the people remain a blank slate that can be manipulated by others. This is why when they attack, they don't come in to kill everybody. They don't want to kill everything. They want to get enough blank slates so that they can work them and put them at the bottom of their cultural order. Every cultural, especially in the way West Asians think, you need a bottom. You need free labor. There would be no capitalism if they weren't able to take advantage of free labor. There would be no capitalism if it was not for your ancestors. Because they needed your ancestors in order for this idea to work. Because capitalism is a race to the bottom. Can I pay the less so that I can sell the most? And the first place that you want to cut down on is labor. Can I pay labor as little as possible? When I can pay labor as little as possible to get a product, what happens? I become rich. This is why jobs, labor, the pay has not kept up with the rate of inflation and the rate in which the CEOs and those in management's payment has increased. Because the idea is to pay those that labor as little as possible. This part of this their whole cultural framework. And many of us want to come into our community with the same cultural framework. It won't work for us. It wasn't designed for us. It's an unhealthy mental virus that we have to understand that it's not, because that type of mental virus requires you To be at the bottom, those at the bottom to think as individuals. Because it's all about you. An individual never beat an institution. One individual can't beat a culture. Don't happen. As a child, instead of a child, as an adult, I practice and apply. That was dope. That was dope. They kill the leaders and take over the mind of the children in our culture. Cheap, free labor. This shit has stopped. It ain't stopped yet, sis, because it's still going on. Because many of our kids are sitting in these schools right now being emptied out. Being taught not to look inside. Being taught not to appreciate themselves. Being taught and put in environments where their natural hair is ridiculed, their skin color is ridiculed, still on the down low. You can see them being assaulted on these devices. You can see it. All you gotta do is step back and look. It hasn't gone nowhere. It just morphed. Like a virus. What do a virus do? A virus get inside you, and the reason your body is not able to destroy it because it hides itself. So when your body adjusts, it can kill it. It can find it now. But what happens with the strong viruses is the strong viruses adjust again. Oh, you thought you had me? I'm adjusting again. And that's exactly what the meme of West Asians have been doing with us. Their ideas have been morphing to, in a sense, where we think that it's part of us. We think that it is us. This is why I'm talking about in our culture. We have to develop a point where we are providing resources for those geniuses within our cultures, those young people within our cultures, the culture to explore our culture and the world, and to see how they can pull value out of both. Yes, baby.
My drawer fell out.
Your drawer fell out? Cleave it!
I asked him, he said, oh well.
Did y'all hear that? Cleveland is turning into an official teenager. I'm hurt.
Dad,
Why did you take your drawer out?
I didn't.
You had to have took it out. It ain't just
Like Quay on Star Trek. Quay. I don't know. Quay on Star Trek. Are you talking about the new one? You know what I'm saying? I mean, because you can look. Just check out. Even the shows, even the shows that show us in a positive light, they always got to slip a little fuckery in there. Always. Q. Oh, okay, yeah, like Q. Okay, word. You know what I'm saying? So, family, I gotta get up. I was supposed to be somewhere at 1:30. I'm kind of disappointed with myself. And I know the barbershop is going to be packed. And I got to be over at the school. It don't stop. Can't stop. We got to keep on building. We got to keep on doing what we do. But I think, let me check one more thing before I get off of here with y'all.
You found your hoverboard charger?
Oh yeah, I wanted to read this article from the Washington Post. Let me see if they'll let us.
100%.
It's not. She needed. It's blinking. It need to be charged. Slavery reparations seem impossible. In many places, they are already happening. Get ready. Here comes some fuckery. Slavery reparations, and for those that's in the church, I hope you ain't got this playing out loud. Slavery reparations may be the single most divisive idea in American politics. Advocates have spent decades calling on U.S. government to assess how such a policy could be implemented and to enact a law that might offer financial restitution to the descendants of enslaved people, which is going to happen. It's going to happen, family. There's no getting around it. And don't be falling for the universal shit. I'm just letting y'all know right now. Some of y'all that's new. Do not fall for the universal talking points. They're going to come at you in two ways. They're going to come at us with the universal shit. Right? We're going to take care of everybody. Right? We're going to take care of everybody. Or they're going to come at you with the fear. Oh, we got to do something during the presidential election. There's two ways. Universal and fear. Look, you got to help us vote them out because if not, they're going to get all the judges. Now, I did some researches on the judges. I want y'all to know this, right? Federal judges are placed in there for life. But guess what? They can be impeached too. I'm just saying. A lot of that shit could be reversed. You know what I'm saying? So when people come at you with the fear mongering, because I'm just saying, I'll never be disappointed, Hot Tim. Never. You have already disposited enough to save our people if they apply. Oh. All right, here we go. But minds are made up. According to the recent Associated Press poll, 74% of African Americans now favor reparation payments. 74. I wonder what the other 26% is doing. While 85% of whites oppose them. That's why I keep on telling y'all about the idea of the stubborn minority. Look it up. And Congress seems unlikely to take up the matter. A 30-year-old bill that would study the issue, H.R. 40, has never reached a vote. Hearing this past June brought Ta-Nehisi Coates, Danny Glover, and other leading proponents to Capitol Hill, and every Democratic presidential candidate except Mike Bloomberg has backed at least studying an idea. The public remains unmoved. Let me go on and look at what date this is. This is January 30th. This is from January 31st. All right, I thought Bloomberg came across with some fake-ass reparation bill. All right, let's see. Yet, for some African Americans, reparations are within reach. In the past few years, several groups have found success pursuing restitution at the local level instead of awaiting aid that the federal government is declined to give. The government is disinclined to give. New policies in Chicago, Georgetown, and at Georgetown University suggest a specific set of conditions that could lead to action and institutions culpable in the past and still in existence. A discrete and identifiable population able to show that they or their ancestors suffer harm, and a community to fight on the claimant's behalf. At the local level, activists have more immediate access to institutional pressure points, while decision makers are often less shielded from criticism and thus more likely to yield. That class of organization can include cities and schools, as well as churches and military and even corporations. Thus far, reparation payments from such institutions, whether realized or promised, have totaled in tens of millions of dollars, and it could be just the beginning. All politics is local for now. So are reparations. All right, family, we're going to get all our money. I'm glad they're talking about local reparations, and I'm glad they're talking about millions of dollars. But you are owed trillions, and we're going to get that shit. And I ain't say act for it. I said it's owed, right? So get clear with that. All right, so family, listen, I'm about to get up. I'm supposed to be somewhere. I'm so glad that you chose to spend your afternoon with the congregation of the mighty in the home of the stubborn minority, the place where your hustle builds muscle. This is Gye-Nyame Journey Media. Baby, why you putting those short sleeve shirts? It's cold outside. This is a Heart of a Simple production. Of course, you know this has been the Daily Toast, and it's been Imani, Toast&Talk. Where we strive
to blow up your paradigm.
I am out. Peace. Clave, get ready. No. Damn, it already hung up on me? What's going on? Okay. Whoa, what was that? All right, Sprinkle, we out.